Last week, I made $10,600. These stats are on the screen here. I'm going to show you in this video the setups in the model I took. It's called Inverse for Value Gaps, and I trade it every day. You can see not every day we had a 100% win rate. We did have some losers sprinkled in there or some break evens, but overall last week we traded Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with no trade on Friday and made 10K. Let's jump right into the strategy in the model. So first thing I always look at in the mornings is I will mark out the 50% of the range. I've been mentioning this in previous videos, and all that this is the overnight. So from 6 p.m. open, which is last night right here, 6 p.m. open, from the high to the low of the morning. So the low of the morning is here, the 50% is right in the middle. So we mark out from 6 p.m. to the low. This is our 50%, this turquoise line. I mark that out on the charts. From here, I will always go to the hourly time frame and I will look for an hourly low sweep or an hourly high sweep. If we sweep an hourly low, I'm going to look for longs. If we sweep an hourly high, I'm going to look for shorts. So in this case, this morning, we swept the low. So we're going to jump onto the 1 minute chart and I'll show you here. This was the low that got swept. You can see there's really no fair value gaps on the 1 minute chart here this morning. It was pretty choppy. But if we drop down to the 30-second chart, there was a beautiful trade right here. It was a little small, but again, for the new people, an inverse fair value gap is a fair value gap that gets closed above or below. Okay, so this is a fair value gap here. You can see the 3 candles. We have a gap in between the first candle's low and the third candle's high. So that's a fair value gap. We sweep the hourly low here, close above this bearish fair value gap. We could take our long position with a stop under if we close below this fair value gap. Next thing is you can target a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, or 50% level is generally a good area. So you have a 1-to-1 right here. So if you risk $200, you would have made $200 here. A 2-to-1 here. So if you risk 200, you would have made 400. And I think we got up to a 3. Yeah, 3.2. So a lot of potential for profits here. If you held to the 50%, you would have gotten stopped out at break even. But this was by far the trade of the morning. We also had another 30-second inverse for value gap here. We swept the hourly low this morning, came down, and we kind of swept out these smaller time frame lows, which are okay to take trades off of if we've previously had an hourly sweep. We come down, make another bearish for value gap here. So again, this first candle's low, it has a gap between the third candle's high. So there's a gap there, and we immediately, once we create this gap, get momentum and close strongly above that. This is another spot where if we close below this fair value gap, that's where our stop loss would be. And we can, again, now target highs here, here, here. We can target the 50% level. We can target all the way up here. London high was up here. Asia high is up here. Right, let's just say we were targeting the 50% level. That right there is a 3.5 R. So if you're risking, $200, you would have made $700 pretty much. Very, very good. You would have obviously been scaling. I would be scaling along the way here. Again, 1-to-1 here, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 3.5. So a couple iFVGs, inverse value gaps of the morning that worked, that were longs. We did have a London high sweep, which was right here. This was London high this morning. So this was an hourly sweep. And we didn't really have any good things that was going on. We had this 30-second that we did close below, but this, I didn't take this or anything because we closed way below. So ideally we get an entry up here, and Trump was speaking. So if you ever see Trump speaking or Powell speaking or some high up executive speaking, oftentimes it's not the smartest to trade. So I didn't take this. It did lose. If you did take it, you probably would have gotten a terrible fill down here, and your stop would have been up here. So it would have been an immediate reversal. But these were the trades of the morning here. And this is the setups that I took to make 10K last week. just setups exactly like this. You can use any time frame, right? 30 second, 1 minute, 2 minute. Those are my go-tos. You can use a 15-second. That's more of maybe off of a news event. If there's high impact news like CPI, you could drop down to the 15-second to see some more trade opportunities. But generally the 30-second, 1 minute, and 2 minute are going to be the most ideal. So that's just a quick little video on how I made 10K last week, just taking setups like this. And this is just what happened this morning. It's currently 11:20. Market's looking like it wants to sweep Asia high up here, but that's it. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.